I've created 10 Christmas tablescapes so that you can skip the stress, sip your eggnog, and pretend you planned it that way. Welcome back to part 2 of the festive madness. Hi everyone, welcome back. I'm Jacqueline, I'm an interior designer, and this is part 2 in our Christmas tablescape series. Last week I went over 5 holiday table setting themes and how you can create them at home, and today I'm doing the same with 5 different styles that hopefully resonate with your own holiday style. If you didn't see it, I'll leave it linked in the description box down below, but I walk through how to create a golden tablescape, an icy winter aesthetic, there was a biblical theme, also a 90s nostalgia table, as well as an elegant modern scheme as well. So if any of those tables interest you, check out that video. If you want to impress your guests and distract them from your questionable cooking skills, you're in the right place, so let's jump in. Okay, so the first tablescape is giving major cozy luxe vibes. It's warm, it's glowy, and it's a little bit glam, but in that earthy, sophisticated way, and it's what I'm calling a cozy fireside retreat. It's full of rusty oranges, dark reds, and rich browns to give a warming look. And I know that some of our North American viewers might be a bit hesitant towards this style because it's too similar to a Thanksgiving table, but I can assure you that I've designed it in a way that feels ultra Christmassy. The tablescape here is not just about placing dishes, it's about crafting a space that feels grounded, inviting, and full of seasonal richness. And even though millennial grey and cool-toned winter designs are popular right now, I'm here to make the case for a warm, rusty bronze Christmas moment because it's ridiculously beautiful. And I really included this holiday table because maybe you have a red interior, orange, or just leans heavily into earthy tones, in which case I think this table is perfect for you. For this theme, the table runner and tablecloth really sets the scene. Choose something in a deep burnt orange, rust, or dark brown. I really recommend a dark base as it immediately sets this rich, moody feel. Next up are chargers, and it kind of goes without saying, but skip anything silver or icy. This is a warm tone table only. Go for metallic bronze chargers to add that glimmer. On top, for plates go for mushroom or brown reactive glaze styles, which I think would be much better than a plain white, and that reactive glaze seems a lot earthier to me. For napkins, choose burnt orange, those look so good with this palette. Tie them with gold napkin rings, add a small sprig of dried orange slices to the table for a little rustic charm that smells amazing too. Glassware here is ultra unique. Select brown ombre water glasses alongside brown smoky wine glasses. The more texture, the better. If you've never used tinted glasses before, just trust me, it will make your table look like it's glowing. Flatware should stick to the warm scheme, so gold and brass work wonderfully. So far, I think you'll agree with me that the table could pass as a Thanksgiving table, which is not what we want, and the centerpiece is where that changes. For the centerpiece, keep the earthy luxe mood alive by placing 2 large glass vases and creating a floral arrangement using gold glitter twigs, branches, and picks. Off of those, I want you to hang copper, bronze, and orange ornaments so that they can dangle from the branches. It creates this gorgeous layered shimmer that feels Christmassy without leaning into traditional red and green. In and around those on the table, dot around orange mosaic glass candle holders that will enhance the glow of the table. Add in golden metal reindeers in sitting and standing positions to make sure there's a sense of storytelling along the table center. Now, Christmas for me evokes so many different aromas, and when I was little growing up, we always had one of those bags of scented pine cones dotted around the house, and nowadays I just stick with a scented candle. But when you think about it, a lot of these Christmassy scents are actually orange, red, and brown. So for the finishing touches to your fireside feast table, set down scented pine cones, cinnamon sticks, dried oranges, star anise, and gingerbread. This theme is warm, textured, and so enchanting. It's perfect if you want your Christmas table to feel elegant and unique, but still cozy, like you're dining by firelight, even when you're not. The second holiday table was actually a request from one of our lovely subscribers, and they wanted a kind of toy Santa's workshop theme inspired by the Santa Claus movie. As I mentioned in part 1, the internet has really been having a moment with childhood Christmas nostalgia, and that really fits this theme perfectly. And mind you, I did just buy a set of Scott Calvin pajamas the other day, so let's hope I don't grow a beard. The Santa's Workshop Tablescape is whimsical, bright, and filled with that magical chaos you can only get from Christmas movies where the elves run around building toys. It's colourful and absolutely not afraid of being extra. The tablecloth I think should be plain white with a red and green edge, just because I think there's a lot more to come. Next isn't your flatware, plates, or chargers. No, it's actually the centerpiece. Instead of traditional flowers and candles, we're going full North Pole, with a Limax Christmas village right in the middle of the table, as I really feel this is the best way you can mimic the North Pole. I know it's a bold move, but trust me, it really does become the star of the show. I love a Christmas village, I have one up there on our shelves, but I'm actually quite new to it. I've only been collecting over the past 3 years, so I'm definitely learning still. So don't listen to me because I'm definitely not the expert, but check out Miriam's Manor here on YouTube. I'll leave her channel linked in the description box, and she literally is the resident expert when it comes to creating a Christmas village, and she doesn't know it, but she's taught me everything I know about setting up a Christmas village. And truly, her stuff is amazing, and she creates the most magical Christmas villages, so check her out if you need some assistance. Around the Christmas village, you'll want to add a snow blanket and fake snow, otherwise it will look weird. Now, the place settings also add to the fun. Choose plates that have toys painted on them. I really recommend the Villeroy & Boch Christmas plates. On each plate, instead of the usual napkin fold, place a mini Christmas present box as a placeholder with a name card. Yes, an actual tiny wrapped box with their name tag on it. It looks adorable, and if you want to slip a small chocolate or gift inside, well, that's just bonus points for being everyone's favourite host. Go for bold red or green napkins and tie them with ribbon encasing a candy cane as well. The ribbon should be something striped or sparkly that feels straight out of Santa's gift wrapping station. For glassware and flatware, have fun with it, let them be really whimsical. The theme doesn't demand elegance per se, it demands joy. So try and find anything that you think are playful and colourful. As there's no chargers here, scatter a few toy ornaments around the table, mini wooden soldiers, tiny drums, jingle bells, nutcrackers maybe, even a plush elf or two peeking out. The key is making it feel like the elves decorated the table themselves during an enthusiastic hot chocolate break. I was also thinking that snow globes play a big part in the Santa Claus movies, so you could place a large Santa snow globe in the middle of the table with a Christmas village surrounding it. The whole vibe is so heartwarming, it feels like every childhood Christmas memory rolled into one joyful tablescape. And honestly, if that doesn't make you smile, then maybe you're the Grinch.
Holiday hoopy whatty?
As a side note, if you're enjoying the video so far, please leave a like, hype the video, and leave a comment. I read every single one and I truly appreciate it. And if you want to see videos just like this one, then please subscribe. Okay, now this next tablescape is for my witchy Christmas lovers, or for those of you who celebrate Yule. Dark Yule decor has quietly been taking over the cozy corners of the internet, and honestly, I'm quite obsessed. It's earthy, mystical, and it feels like you've just walked through a wintry woodland. The Yule Tablescape is about grounding nature and that ancient winter solstice energy. Think lots of raw, untouched textures, deep tones, and soft candlelight that makes everything feel magical. For the base of this look, ditch the bright colours. A simple linen tablecloth in cream or taupe is wonderful. Or I would recommend, if you have a dark wooden table, to highlight that, because it's only going to add to the natural feel found in this theme. Place setting should feel earthy and simple, so I would choose either a natural wicker mat or deep green linen rectangle shapes. Think stoneware plates on top with crochet edge napkins in natural linen, tied with a little sprig of holly to give charming witchy cottagecore vibes. Now it's completely your preference for colour, but place either green or clear glass goblets on the top of the placemats. I think flatware should look vintage or antique. A classic look then makes it feel like something the Ghost of Christmas Present would use. Right now, apart from the holly, there's not really any natural elements to the table, so that's what you're going to do with the centerpiece. Set down a long, low candle holder filled with fresh Christmas greenery. I'm talking pine, spruce, cedar, whatever you can find that looks like it was foraged, even if it wasn't. I think the more natural the better, but as someone with tree allergies, I obviously wouldn't use real greenery. And honestly, there's so many great imitation garlands and sprigs these days anyway, so I don't really think they need to be real. If you're not sure what greenery to include for Yule, there's actually a lot of symbolism, so I would include pine for wisdom, cinnamon for prosperity, orange slices for the sun and abundance, mistletoe for love, and star anise for luck. Once you weave the greenery around your table, the whole table instantly transforms into a Yule altar. Just, make sure that the flame and foliage aren't too close. But the more candle light, the better. Other than the main centerpiece, add plain white taper candles in matte black candle holders and tie them with white ribbon. Remember, Yule is all about welcoming light back into the darkness. For the extra touch, think about adding more foliage to really make it feel like a wintry forest. If you have a pendant light hanging above, weave berry and holly garlands around it. Secondly, wreaths hanging from the backs of chairs. Small ones made of pine or spruce branches instantly make the whole setup feel ceremonial. On the days you're celebrating, try and rely solely on candlelight, small table lamps and floor lamps as well. Don't flick on the big pendant light, because if you just rely on the candles, it's really going to add to that Yuletide ambiance. The Yule Tablescape is more than just a place to eat. It's a mystical celebration of the winter season and ending of the year, perfect for gathering close and sharing in the wonder of light returning. Okay, the fourth tablescape is for people who want their Christmas table to feel like it's a cozy little bakery straight out of a gingerbread fairy tale. If your home is full of warm neutrals and you love anything that looks like it's come from a Scandinavian Christmas storybook, the Gingerbread Tablescape is your moment. I think gingerbread can sometimes look quite tacky, so I really tried to design this one so that it's still chic, modern and festive. This theme is whimsical and warm. It feels like your table has been visited by a tiny gingerbread crew who set up everything before running away. Start with a textured linen tablecloth, the kind that looks natural and just rustic enough. It sets the neutral bakery chic base. Then layer woven placemats. They add that fresh out of the oven on a cooling rack texture. On top of those, place simple white plates, because on top, you'll want to add a gingerbread ceramic plate. Beneath that, use beige linen napkins to match the tablecloth. These instantly transform the whole setting into something sweet and playful. Continuing with adding gingerbread elements, you're going to want the centerpiece to basically be a gingerbread Christmas village. Arrange ceramic gingerbread houses down the table like a tiny frosted neighborhood. To keep it from looking tacky, then weave bright green cypress branches in between them so it looks like they live in an enchanted evergreen forest. Now it's really coming together. And because gingerbread villages deserve drama, add tall white taper candles in simple white candle holders right down the middle. When they're lit, the gingerbread houses look like they're glowing from the inside. For cutlery, either gold or silver works, but I think a more modern design would work a lot better. Honestly, you can't go wrong. Glassware here is really different. Use smoked brown wine glasses. These are ultra modern and certainly unique, but tie in with this scheme wonderfully. For the finishing touch, it's my favourite part. Bake gingerbread men and write your guests' names on them and use them as placeholders. Little edible gingerbread men sitting on each plate with your friends or family's names piped in icing. It's also a great party favour because you know nobody is leaving that biscuit behind. This whole table feels like a whimsical, neutral-toned Christmas dream. It's playful without being chaotic and festive without being overly colourful, so perfect for those of you who love a neutral colour scheme but don't want it to be boring. For my next tablescape, you're going to want to step into a world of sugar, spice and storybook magic with a Candyland inspired Christmas table. Again, this one was suggested by one of our lovely subscribers, so thank you. In order for this theme to still look stylish, it's all about layering and actually knowing when to hold back, because I think with this theme, when you start to add too much, it can start to look cheap. If your inner child secretly wants to live inside a sweet shop at Christmas, this one is for you. We're going full Candyland. Think Hansel and Gretel, candy canes, lollipops, you know what I mean. I'm more of a chocolate person than sweets, but you guys let me know your favourite holiday sweets in the comments. If you're in the UK, then you'll know that it's not really the start of Christmas until one of these bad boys appear. The first layer should be a plain white tablecloth to keep things from looking too busy. And then layer a baby pink runner down the centre. That soft pink instantly brings in that candy shop sweetness and will make the bright colours on top really pop. For each place setting, use red ripple edged chargers. They're supposed to resemble sweet wrappers. On top, add candy cane swirl plates or plates with candy cane stripe edges. Already, the table is starting to gather together a Hansel and Gretel theme. Choose contrasting colours for your napkins. I would suggest turquoise blue napkins tied with a red bow. I should say with this style that you don't have to listen to the colours I'm mentioning. Take it as you will. You can go for a more pastel toned one if you want, or even a much more brightly coloured one. But anyway, this is just how I would complete this look. Next is the centerpiece, and this is where you're going to want to have most sweet decorations. Take a floral oasis or styrofoam ball and stick in candy canes and lollipop decorations so that they stand upright. This then lets you create these big, elaborate, swirly candy bouquets that look like they've come straight from Hansel and Gretel's dream. Minus the witch. In between the central candy bouquet, add peppermint candy Christmas trees. They bring in height, shape, and even more pattern, which is needed since the base layer is so plain. To finish the centerpiece, use color coordinating taper candles, think red, pink, or even a pop of mint green. When they're lit, they add their much needed light. I would recommend your glassware stays simple and clear because you're going to want your Christmas concoctions to shine through. Coloured drinks in simple glasses become part of the decor if you plan it right. Around your dining table, take it up a notch by placing large gingerbread candy trees. Position them so they surround the table itself, so that it feels like your guests are sitting in the middle of a gingerbread forest in Candyland. This theme is so fun and totally over the top, but I hope that you also think that it's stylish. It's a great choice if you want your Christmas table to feel like a magical sweet shop, full of colour and imagination. And just to add to that, Jennifer over at Turtle Creek Lane did a fantastic Grinch Whoville theme one year, and it included a lot of candy elements too. So if you want to tie in some Grinch elements, I think that's 100% achievable with this holiday table as well. As I mentioned in the beginning, this is part 2. I'll leave part 1 at the end in case you missed it, but all that's left to do now is prep the Christmas food shopping list and actually make the dinner. So if you made it to the end of the video, my question for you this week is, what dishes are always on your Christmas table? For us, it's always pigs in blankets, cranberry sauce, ovs, and I make a really nice chestnut stuffing, which is chef's kiss. Please leave a like and a comment if you enjoyed the video. I truly appreciate that, and it really does help to grow the channel as well. Or if you need help fulfilling your own design dreams, I've left our website in the description. I hope after watching part 1 and part 2, you are now all ready for Christmas time. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today, and I'm wishing you the most magical, cozy Christmas season. Bye guys.